get it.
Okay, everybody, welcome to a very special episode of Ghost in the Scene. This is something that you've never seen before. I'm here with my co-hosts, but right now we are much more than that. Rob Thomas, Mark Luffler, hello. Welcome to a very serious trial of the century, the trial of Kelly Loeffler, judged by Jim Carrey, prosecuted by Giovanni Chupatazzi and Kruger. I'm sorry, Chupatazzi, Thomas, and Kruger, and defense attorney by Mark Luffler and the ghost of Johnny Cochran. Welcome, one and all.
Wow. I mean, it is electric in this courtroom right now. It is filled to the brim with all sorts of ghosts of all sorts of kind. They've all come out to see the results of this case because we know that this is a landmark, and mark that with a capital M.
Mark, right there. I see John Lennon is in attendance. He's sitting down with Paul McCartney is there with him too. Looks like a much younger Paul McCartney. Very interesting. So we don't want to give away too much of our defenses, our tricks, but let's just have a nice little conversation before we get started, before we're at our throats. Mark, how are you? How have you been? How are you doing?
I'm good. Just hanging in, keeping it, just doing good. Staying free from ghosts.
Okay. This is a pretty close subject for you. I'm aware this is your cousin that is on trial. I could see you're pretty flustered.
Yeah, you got that right. In all my years of being a lawyer, I have always worn a suit, usually a tuxedo and a bow tie, because that's how strongly I take law. But this trial is a sham. So you're getting my pajamas. It's not even worth me dressing up for. Kelly is innocent.
Wow.
And I'm just pissed. So it's like, I'm not even putting on a suit. I'm just going to pajamas.
Mark, I thought we were going to be cordial about this.
No. It's too late for that.
This was supposed to be, a chance for us to clear the air before we started fighting.
And I really was hoping that we were going to be able to settle this because obviously the evidence is on our side, Mark. And this is your last chance. This is Kelly's last chance. This is your last chances for counsel to reach a settlement agreement before we get into that courtroom and let the law decide.
This is an embarrassment of the justice system. You guys are just trying to throw down to sham and slander the good Loeffler name. And I won't stand here for it.
We're trying to be nice here, and Jim's not going to be so nice. And I'm worried about you and your reputation. When this is over, I don't want you to be, torn to shreds because Rob is ready to pounce. I don't know if you can tell. He has his jacket off and he's cuffed. So he's going to rip you apart the second this trial starts, Mark. I just want you to be careful. I care about you. I remember a time when you and young Kelly Loeffler were on the tire swing, eating grandma's pies. And I'm sure that, is a hard memory for you to hold in your heart with all of the controversy right now. So just let's have a come to Jesus moment and let's settle this.
You know what, you guys, you're buying yourself trouble.
Okay, he wants to go. He wants to go there. He wants to go. There's nothing that we can do. Justice must be served, and we're going to serve it. I'm sorry, Mark. From this moment forward, as soon as that gavel, clangs down, it is a bare knuckle fight between us. So I hope you and Johnny are ready.
We are ready. I'm
Okay,
gonna
well,
kick your ass legally.
well, okay. Paralegally, paranormal legally, I'm ready to defend my ass, and which we will. So let us all rise and hear a word from our Supreme, Sorcerer Supreme, and the judge presiding over the trial, Mr. James Carey.
Alrighty then. I can't lie! No! I'm just messing with you. Hi!
Good morning!
Hey,
I'm here to save your life. Just because I rock doesn't mean I'm made of stone.
All right. Yes! Thank you for all your cooperation.
inspiring stuff. And you heard it there. The gavel is down. Let's take our seats and let's take this seriously, everybody. This is
Okay.
a serious trial. I'd now like to begin opening statements. Rob, you have the floor.
Thank you, Giovanni. Ladies, gentlemen, exes of the court, let me tell you a tale as old as time, a tale of greed, of using personal information, a tale of pure evil. I'm speaking, of course, of Kelly Loeffler and her use of private information as discovered through the Ghost in the Scene team to manipulate the stock markets and to profit off of our information. This is open and shut, as you will see, that Kelly willfully stole information from us to make money. I mean, I don't even have to really explain that much more. It's really that simple. So, ladies, gentlemen, exes, I propose that you submit your verdicts now, because I really don't have to give much more evidence than that. And that's where I rest my case. Thank you.
Wow, officially resting his case early during his opening statement. That is a bold move. I love the tenacity. Let's move on to the defense and let's hear Mark's opening statements. Mark, the floor is yours.
Okay. Well, let's take it back. We're going to tell you all a little story. Get back into the family. Big holiday coming up around the corner. Some of you non-Christians might know Easter is the holiday. But I want to take you back to Loeffler family brunches every Easter from about the early 90s till all the way up to the present. Big thing that families like to do over the holidays at Easter is egg hunt. They look for different eggs. There's different things in the eggs. Some eggs might have jelly beans. Some might have chocolate bunny eggs. Some might have a little rubber ball inside. But our family kind of mix it up, would always put one egg with a $20 bill, the golden egg. Now, Kelly, my dear cousin, every year would find that golden egg. So do the math. And she's older than me by 10 years. Every year she got the golden egg. 20 times 20, that's almost $400. She's bringing in the cash, all that Easter egg money. Why would she have to do insider training if she had that much egg money? So when you think about it, Jesus died for our sins, and Kelly Loeffler has too much egg money to ever make this insider training worth your while. I mean, it's ridiculous. This court is a joke. That's why I'm not wearing a tuxedo. I am frankly appalled that you would insult Kelly and her egg money. And I think maybe the prosecution maybe didn't get enough money from their eggs. And that is what this is really
What's
about.
that he's saying?
And I rest my case.
Wow, stunning. We are moving back to the prosecution. Giovanni Cibitazzi will take the floor. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I am Giovanni Ciampetazzi. I have come to you, a humble paranormal legal associate, and I am here to say justice will be served. Okay, let us begin by Exhibit A. You take Exhibit A and go all the way to Z. That's how many things we have against Kelly Loeffler. Alrighty then.
Alrighty then.
That was just a little sample of the spirituality that we have done in our research against Kelly Loeffler. I am here to tell you and everybody in the universe, the multiverse, that she is guilty of her crimes. And as much as I wanted to sing that, I want to be serious for a quick second. This is about the balance between good and evil. And just like Rob said, light and dark, Oreo, the outside versus the inside. We are the inside, and Kelly and the Loeffler family is on the outside. I will not disparage the Loeffler name. I will only say that, eggs, this is an egg hunt, okay? But we're not looking for a golden egg. We're looking for a bad egg. I end my statement.
Really?
Johnny Cochran, the ghost of Johnny Cochran, now has the floor. It will be translated to the court by Mark Loeffler.
So, thank you for having me here. This is a case I'm very passionate about. This is also a tough case. Kelly didn't wear any gloves. I would usually talk about how the glove doesn't fit, but Kelly didn't wear gloves. But what I can say is in all my years as a lawyer, I have never seen such hypocrisy. The prosecution, how do you think they have been able to afford the multi-billion-dollar entertainment conglomerate, which is Ghost in the Scene? Think they don't have any dirt on their hands? No. And Kelly started wising up. And that's when they got desperate and started this whole sham of a court, if I can even call it that. I have decided, like my pristine colleague, Mr. Mark Loeffler, who is speaking for me today, I have also decided to wear pajamas. Even though I am dead, I am wearing my ghost pajamas. And this isn't a bad egg. Think about all that egg money. I rest my case.
Wow. Powerful opening statements from the prosecution, from the defense. We are now going to move into the next phase of trial, the witness testimonies and their statements. We did a witness interview with a Rashid, one member in the scene. He told us many things. We have some statements here that we'd like to share with the court. We would also like to submit to the evidence to the court and the judge this recording of witness tampering. Rashid would love to have been here, yet he is nowhere to be found. So we will show you what happened, and then we will show you what he said that made him disappear. So let us listen in on Rashid's testimony, and I hope the prosecution and the defense take this very seriously, because this is a man who is missing right now. So here we go.
There was the meat issues with tainted meat, tainted by the spirit of fallen vegans, and they get into the meat, and when you eat this meat, it tastes, it has like a bitter taste to it, and you yourself become possessed by ghost beacons, and that was very important. You know, with this kind of information, I could have made a mint in this crisis, but no, people are buying up meat like crazy. And what's in all this meat are the ghost beacons. So now, once all this is over, we're gonna have a world full of non-meat eating ghost vegan possessed people, and that's just one of the small secrets that you shared with me and the street team. Can't forget about the street team.
Mhm.
Way to go out there.
Wow.
So you have to remember, like, who famously did not eat meat, but Hitler. So you could be being possessed by Hitler by eating tainted meat.
Mhm.
That's right. It's a matter of
That's
time.
important information. You know, getting to the heart of the matter, demonic assassins, right? I think that's going to play a big part in this case. Especially coming after Kelly and her husband and all those other senators that may have been affected. We're looking at some assassins that are demonic that are going after people. So I guess the question is, who are they going after, Rashid, and why?
I feel that the demonic assassins are going after those that are on the side of right. So the three of us are definitely in danger of demonic assassination. They were also going after a little known Hollywood starlet by the name of Margot Robbie, if you will, who famously played the Joker's girlfriend. She is doing her best trying to warn us with a very stoic face and lack of skill, letting us know that things aren't always what they're cracked up to be.
So you're saying the worse that someone acts, the worse that the least effort they put into their performance
That is correct.
is the least likely to be possessed. That makes total sense.
He's still missing to this day. Mark, Johnny, if you have any idea as to where he is, this isn't a time to be playing around. He has a family that loves him. So
Well,
please.
some families can't afford to buy eggs for Easter, and they do. It's called a week-long hunt, and some members of the families dress up like eggs, and then they hide somewhere. So, in the spirit of Jesus, in the spirit of Easter, I might know where he is, but I'm not going to give that answer away. It would be a sin.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to throw in our first objection here. I object. All right,
Yes.
and you're laughing right now, Mark, because Rashid went missing before Good Friday, and that was a bad day that he left. All right, that was a very bad Friday. So my objection is on relevance here, and I don't think that's a relevant statement that you made.
Johnny Depp and anybody else that's paying you right now, I know that they're in the crowd somewhere, and you should be ashamed of yourself. Now, Jim Carrey will have some words. Go ahead, Jim.
Alrighty then.
And that's that. Alrighty then, everybody. So, objection sustained. Let us cross-examine this witness. You will have a chance to ask some questions, Mark. I want you to be
Okay.
respectful, okay?
Who's this witness?
This is Rashid. You're going to be talking to a recording. So I want you to be very careful with what you say, because this is from the past. He has no way to defend himself.
Oh, okay. Rashid, do you believe in ghosts? How do you know that they're there? Did your family ever go on egg hunts? Did you ever get the golden egg? Was that fun for you? What do you mean? Objection. Rashid.
Objection. The defense can't object his own witness.
What are you objecting to?
It's making faces at me.
That's how he communicates, Mark. He has a very expressive face, and he's trying to tell you the truth.
This is a man from the past, Mark. He can't make faces at you.
Well, in the past, he made faces. I didn't like him. Rashid, when it was Easter time, what would you find in your basket? Was it
Objection.
peeps?
Objection. That is too far. You're leading the witness. Gavel's down.
How am I supposed to do my job if I can't ask him what was in his Easter basket? That's the foundational keystone of my whole defense. If we can't establish what was in this man's Easter basket,
All right,
what are we even doing here?
We'll have to see if it's submitted to evidence, though, Mark. Did you submit this to evidence?
No.
Okay.
You know,
This is what happens when you don't take it seriously, Mark. You don't submit your evidence, and now you can't use it.
This isn't serious. I don't even think you guys are lawyers.
This shows how
Where's
much
your lawyer hat?
you know. We've had at least 4 weeks of experience now, Mark. That's a month. That's longer than some animals live, sadly.
May they rest in peace.
So you're glad that the animals are dying?
We had
Rashid,
to kill them to get the diplomas. Okay?
What do
I'm
you
not
think
proud.
the paper's made out of?
I rest my case.
Wow. The second
defense rests.
the defense rests. Wow. Now we are moving on to the defense witness. We have
defense
here a character witness for Kelly Loeffler. This is somebody that is very close to the family. We have a Mr. A.
Let me just stop you right there. Kelly Loeffler is the most law-abiding citizen on this dimension or on the next dimension, all right? She's accused of insider trading, okay? Insider trading, what is that? That doesn't even exist. That's not even a thing you can be prosecuted for. It's a hoax, a big fat hoax. Second thing, corrupting the youth. What is she, Socrates? No, she's Kelly Loeffler, the most law-abiding, non-hoax senator from Georgia that these great United States has ever seen. I rest my case. Dun dun dun.
Okay. He just said
What's that he's saying?
that Kelly Loeffler didn't do it. Sadly, he's also not available for us to cross-examine him, and we had nothing to do with it. And I'm starting to wonder if maybe the defense had something to do with it. Maybe it was under duress that he even said this in the first place. So whether or not this is admissible in court, we'll leave that up to the judge.
Alrighty then.
And he just said, "Alrighty then." So it is admissible. So okay, you have on your side a very credible source now, Mr. Loeffler. Is there anything else? I know you've decided to rest, and you're lying down literally right now. But there is the last moment. We're going to do a little cross-examination. Are you ready for that?
I'm ready. I'm
Okay.
resting so I can prepare.
Are you ready for the cross-examination, Rob?
Oh, you better believe I am, and I have a few items that will help me in this quest for truth.
Okay. So, the first cross-examination. Okay, everybody? I want you to look directly at my screen. You see the little cross? Is that a cross?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That one, is that a cross?
No, it's too squiggly.
Okay. Is that a cross?
No.
Is that a cross?
Yes.
Is that a cross?
Yes.
even if it's on the side? Is it a cross?
No.
You just failed your cross-examination. Fool. Wow. A cross is always a cross, no matter what. Rob, I know that you passed with flying colors. You'll submit your form, your cross-examination form, to the jury, of course. Now,
Yeah, I filled in the Scantron bubbles all the way.
good. What items did you bring for your cross-examination?
Well, it's more about a investigation because we can't speak with Mr. A directly. I'm resorting to some very high-end technology. This is a lie detector, spiritual lie detector. All right, and I'm going to wave it in front of Mr. A's video testimony to see if he's telling the truth or is he lying.
Okay.
So this is straight from the Vatican, so you know it's legit.
All right, let's do it. Let us hear this testimony, and you will determine whether it is a lie or false.
Kelly Loeffler is the most law-abiding citizen on this dimension or on the next dimension. All right.
Okay.
There it is. And oh my goodness, there it goes. You see that?
Whoa.
It's popping off.
Be careful.
Oh my god! Ah! Yeah.
Ow. Ooh.
Sorry. I think it might have burned my hand. That's liar, liar, pants on fire.
Liar, liar. Mark, there goes your star witness. Sorry, bud.
Le who? The her.
What can we do? Unforeseen circumstances.
And we have the final witness here. I would like to call Kelly Loeffler to the stand. Oh, man. The crowd is going wild right now. John Lennon just high-fived Paul McCartney and missed and smacked him across the face. Awesome. Okay, guys. Kelly Loeffler is going up onto the stand, and she is going to answer some questions. So let's just ask a question each. Let's be fair here. So we'll start with Rob, and we'll work our way down. Rob, what is the first question you want to ask?
Kelly, on January 13th, 2020, where were you? And who were you with? And what did they say?
I have no involvement in these decisions. I don't have conversations with them about any of this. And so this is a very third-party relationship that many people are familiar with, innately having worked in financial services. And that's not something that we're involved with a lot. But to the extent that we are, we obviously cannot trade on it, and I would not, and am very aware of those requirements.
Okay. Strange answer. Okay, Kelly. Now, you have a history of conjuring poltergeists in real estate, Fibonacci numbers and sequences ending in 666, your favorite numbers. Can you just please, for the court's sake, just clear the air and admit to the poltergeists?
I don't know. I'm not apprised until I see the reports that are filed. I don't direct the activity. I made that decision many years ago, and so I don't direct or participate in the decisions made for any of our portfolios.
Okay. Mark, do you want to ask a question?
Yes, Kelly. How did you get so good at those egg hunts? How did you find the golden egg every time?
And I should note that I have 20 years of investment experience where I'm accustomed to managing through sensitive information, and I have always adhered to the letter and the spirit of the law, and I'll continue to do that. Material non-public information is something I understand.
She won't say. She's a stone wall. Okay, Rob, do you have any further questions?
Yes. Kelly, the information you used to learn about coronavirus could have only come from Ghosts in the Scene. So, how many episodes of Ghosts in the Scene have you listened to? And how's your conversations with Mark relating to Ghosts in the Scene? You know, how often do you talk to Mark about Ghosts in the Scene?
Well, first of all, I'm happy to answer any and all questions and would submit to whatever review is needed. We had no involvement in them, and in fact, it was a mix of buys and sells. I think, we have to make sure that all the rules and laws are followed. I think they are being followed, at least in my case, I know they are. I can't speak for other people.
Your Honor, I would like to badger the witness a little bit, please. I'd like to be candid. Okay?
Wake up, sisters.
Thank you. Kelly, listen here, goddammit. No more lying in the court. You're besmirching the Loeffler name right now. Look at your cousin. Look at the shell of a man that you've turned him into. The shill that he is. Because of the last name that you share, he has cut off his own you know what. Okay? With a
Objection. Not true.
prove it.
That would be inappropriate for a family courtroom.
Obviously, he hasn't read the candor of the court, and everyone's begging for it. This is the wow moment that everyone's been asking for. Mark's going to expose himself to the court, not to me, and not to anybody else, just to Jim, and he will determine whether or not you have what you say you have.
It's not going to happen.
I think my work here is done. I think my work here is done. The defense is sham. Never even had a jumping off place to start with.
Mm-hmm.
She is guilty, and the prosecution rests.
Can I make my closing statement? Is it time for that yet?
Yes.
Okay. I'd like to quote an old nursery rhyme, if you will. Here comes Peter Cottontail, hopping down the bunny trail. Hippity hoppity, Easter is on its way. Think about that song for a bit. Think of Kelly on that trail, finding all those eggs, getting lots of money. Would she need to steal? Does that make sense? No. Think about all the high-tech ghost gear that Ghost of the Scene has. Celebrity cameos. Jim Carrey is an expensive judge. How do they fund that? Why would they be criticizing an innocent senator if they didn't have something to gain? What they have to gain? I'll tell you. Publicity. Publicity for their sham trial. Profiteering off of the Loeffler name. I had left Ghost in the Scene because it became yellow journalism, and I didn't want to be associated with it. But now, having to take time off of my Easter holiday when I should be out hunting for eggs or in church to defend my family, you've started a war and you're going to lose. Thank you, jury. The defense rests.
And he's out. He's asleep, guys. You see the Z's coming out of his mouth. Wow. Okay, closing statements. Partner, Rob.
Thank you, Giovanni. Now, I think what we've seen here is a case that is opened and a case that has shut. Our defense would have you to believe that Peter Cottontail is on his way to Easter. But as we all know, we're in quarantine now, so there won't be any Easter this year. There's not going to be any big boulder that rolls out, and Jesus isn't going to come out of his groundhog hole this year and see his shadow because he's quarantined. Jesus can't rise again because none of us can. And who knew? Who knew that this was all going to happen? Us, of course, in our investigative journalism. But our priority is to keep people safe. So we were withholding this information. Who else knew about this information, though? Mark, former associate.
Objection.
Insider. You can't object on a closing statement.
How dare you?
Yes, it's bullshit. I can.
Wow.
Fine. What's your objection, Mark?
I didn't know about this. I didn't know any.
Oh my God.
Your
You
Honor.
cannot lie in court. You swore an oath, Mark.
I had no idea.
We saw you in the Google Docs. All right.
Mm-hmm.
You can't hide in a Google Docs. We saw you looking.
Slander.
And this is only reporting facts. I am not slandering you, Mark. I'm only saying what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Which is you were in the Google Doc, and we saw you highlight the entire document we had of all of our information. And we heard the whooshing noise of the email sent. Sent to whom? Cousin Kelly. Maybe Cousin Kelly was so good at this Easter egg hunt, not because she's talented, but because she was given insider information on where the eggs were. No one is that good at finding Easter eggs, except maybe a bad egg. And I rest.
Take that back.
The prosecution rests.
Wow. And I'm going to just drive this nail right in the coffin. Kelly, the bad egg Loeffler, is and always will be a bad egg. This insider info that, you so, desperately say you didn't know, Kelly, she knew. And there's no way that any of us could have relayed that information to her, right? She's a senator, okay? If we don't need to, forget that. She is a celebrity. And, the lowly ghost in the scene, we have an empire, but we're multidimensional. We don't really advertise a lot in the United States of America, in this world. So Kelly Loeffler was never going to speak to us. The only way she would ever get the information is from her own blood. And this was a trial of blood, okay? A bloody trial. I got nosebleeds. I had to pause 4 or 5 times. I had to change my shirt. So this is a trial of blood family. And Loeffler, the Loeffler family, I'm not accusing any of them, only accusing 2 people, Kelly and Mark. How could you live with yourself, but betraying us the way you did? After we were your home for so long, the source of your income, who bought your second car? Who bought your yacht for you? Off of what money did you buy that? Are you cruising every Sunday? He doesn't want an answer because he knows the answer. So I would like to, appeal for clemency to the judge. Judge Kelly Loeffler is a bad egg, but she does not deserve to get the entire book thrown at her. No guillotine, okay? So I humbly request lifetime in the Phantom Zone, if not 1,000 years. Thank you. Johnny Cochran has the floor.
For the first time in my career, living and dead, I'm speechless. All I can say to the jury is that this sucks and it's a bunch of lies. Go home and put on your Easter slippers and have some time with your family and think about truth. Think about Jesus. And there's no gloves, but Kelly's not a bad egg. She's a good egg. She's a great egg. Great egg to have in an omelet. Omelet with ham, omelet with cheese, some vegetables if you'd like them. I like my omelets with Tabasco, but that's all I can say. It's a sham. The defense rests.
Wow. So now we will have deliberation. The trial is over for us. The work is done. We can breathe a sigh of relief. I think we both came at it, both sides, just like two, opposite sides of a magnet, just, propelling and the intensity between us. I'm glad that's finally over. We can get back to being associates, being friends again. I know that me and Johnny Cochran haven't spoken in months, so it's going to be finally, nice to be able to talk to him just about the weather and that kind of thing again.
I mean, he graded my final paper in law and paranormal law school.
Mm-hmm.
So, we have that connection. So, I mean, it's honestly been an honor to be in the same room as him and Mark. Nothing really proves yourself as a good paranormal legal than to go up against the best. So I commend you the defense for that.
Yeah. Mark, I'm really sorry that I had to prove in court that you cut your own balls off and that it's legally proof now. But that's just the breaks, that's what it takes to win. And that's what I had to do. And I hope you understand that. Also, I want to comment, you've been turning into a ghost this entire time. And you said you haven't been in contact with ghosts. The trial's over. And so I don't want to put you on trial, but literally you're turning into a ghost every 2 or 3 seconds.
Well, you guys, I thought you'd do a good old clean Southern courtroom, but this is dirt. This is hardball, and I resent it. You haven't seen the last of this guy, Mr. Mark Leffler. Happy Easter, everybody.
Well, it's not over yet. We now have the deliberation is finally over. Jim Carrey had to hand the torch over. He is officially starting to grow a coronavirus beard. And he said that he no longer has time to do anything but focus on every single grain of hair on his face. So he was able to deliberate over the beginning, but the end he has passed the torch to an associate of his, a close friend of his. This is a celebrity, somebody who is probably even more famous, more well-known than Jim Carrey, but he's a good friend of his, Mr. Fred Stoller. So take it away, Judge Fred, and let's just hope that he doesn't, guillotine your cousin. Okay, Mark? Here we go.
This is Fred Stoller. Excuse me, Judge Fred Stoller. And I am going to pass my sentence on Kelly. Go down. You're guilty, and you're going to the Phantom Zone like Superman for 1,000 years. No appeal. No chance for probation. Kelly, you had your chance, but they brought in the strictest judge of all, me, Fred Stoller. Go to where you should be. I'm Fred Stoller, and I really play you out. Going to the Phantom Zone. Kelly, you really did it.
Wow. 1,000 years in the Phantom Zone.
Cheaters.
Ouch, Mark. Uh-oh.
Cheaters.
That's no good.
No appeal either.
Yeah.
So that's that.
That's that, Mark. Looks like the law offices of Chumpatazi, Thomas, and Kruger have our first W on the scoreboard. And we didn't even have to have, Freddie involved in this whole thing, which is pretty great.
He's been doing a lot of background research, and he graciously took over all of our other cases, knowing that this is our flagship case. And big shout out to Freddy Krueger for taking on that extra workload. All those sort of like haunted house and other, you got to keep the business afloat. So, not every case is going to be, the earth shattering landmark case as this one is.
Well, it just feels so good to win. Mark, it must feel equally as bad to lose. How does that feel?
I'm speechless. I can't talk right now. I don't want to start crying.
I understand. Kelly is going to be going to the Phantom Zone for 1,000 years. You will. The one positive that I see from this is that you will finally get a chance to win and find that golden egg, because she'll be in jail for so long.
Hopefully.
So that's one positive that we have on the list of pros and cons. We won. You'll find the golden egg, be $20 richer, and I mean, this whole court system, we have to renovate it. There are things about it that I personally didn't like. I want instant justice sometimes. I want longer justice other times. I want soft. I want hard justice. I want it just right. I want Goldilocks justice. So this is a process that we're going to go through multiple times. We're going to figure this out over the course of a lifetime, probably. So let's just hope that we all learned something today. Justice was served. I know that some people didn't like the way it was served. Served a little cold for some, but it was just right for me.
I mean, that's what we have to remember about the law is it is something that is never truly settled, and it's something that it develops over time. But I think justice here was served. Thankfully, we didn't have to get out the guillotine this time. I think it shows that the system works, and that after 1,000 years, there can be some forgiveness.
And actually, we have a last little tidbit. The bailiff just handed me a note. Thank you. Wow. I'm getting a call.